Hello, my name is Bailey Aulenbach and I am the owner of Midnight Mama Sleep Consulting, and this is Sleep Questions in My DMs. Each Friday I go over a series of questions that have come into my DMs and I will answer them for you here. So today I have 5 questions lined up and we will go right through them. The first one being, my baby wears a sleep sack and whenever I get her in the morning, her hands are cold. Should I put mittens on her? At this point, I wouldn't recommend mittens. What we are looking for is we're making sure that the trunk of your baby is warm. So as long as their chest and tummy are warm when you take them out of their sleep sack, I'm not worried about cold little fingers. The reason why we don't want to put mittens on them is because lots of babies use their fingers or their thumb as a self-soothing mechanism. So they suck on them or maybe they stroke their face with their fingers. So we want to keep their hands and their fingers available for them to access if they want to use it to self-soothe. And I also don't always recommend going into a higher TOG rating of sleep sack because your baby could start getting sweaty and we don't want them sleeping too warm. So definitely make sure the TOG rating is appropriate for your child's room temperature and you'll be able to figure it out from that. But cold hands are okay. My son has sensitive skin. Should I still bathe him every night? I love including a bath in a bedtime routine because it acts as a really strong cue to signal that bedtime is different than nap time. But if your child has sensitive skin and if they're sensitive to just water and not even soap, then I would recommend including a lotion massage instead of the bath. So massage lotion into his skin all over, and that can be part of your bedtime routine instead of the bath. How much daytime sleep does my 14-month-old need? She's on a 2-nap schedule. On a 2-nap schedule, and even on a 1-nap schedule, as you're getting into toddlerhood, daytime sleep needs become less. So I would say that your 14-month-old needs around 2 hours worth of daytime sleep, and that isn't going to change when they go into 1 nap. So right now, the nap is spread out over 2 1-hour periods, but soon it will be brought to 2 hours right in the middle. So watch out for some signs soon, but likely that those 2 naps will drop into 1 within the next couple of months. I have breathable bumper pads in my baby's crib. Are those okay? Unfortunately, no. Any addition to your baby's crib is not rated for safe sleep. The only thing that is available for safe sleep with children under 12 months old is a fitted sheet on the mattress and also a sleep sack or a swaddle. And swaddles actually don't become safe after the use of 12 weeks old. So I would remove those bumper pads. If your child is a headbanger and you're worried about them hitting their head on the crib rails, then I would really consider putting them in a pack and play where they have the mesh sides. So if they do like to hit their head or if you find they're doing it often, then at least you know that they're not hurting themselves because it's on the mesh part of the pack and play. So remove those bumper pads and maybe switch up their sleep environment. When should I introduce a lovey? I want to make sure my baby likes it and gets attached. So this is another safe sleep thing. We don't want to have any additives in the crib until your child is 1. So I would start introducing a lovey during playtime or during awake time sooner, just so your child gets used to one thing and they really start liking it and attaching to it. And then on their first birthday, you can put it in the crib with them. But I wouldn't recommend adding things any sooner than age 1. First of all, it's not recommended by the AAP or the Canadian Pediatric Board, but it's also just not safe. And I don't want you worrying if it ends up on their face or their head. I don't want you concerned about any suffocation risk. So let's just eliminate all risk by introducing it when they're 1 into the crib, but you can always introduce the lovey sooner than that during their daytime play. One other thing I recommend is to buy 2. So if you find a lovey that you really like, I recommend getting 2 and wash them at the same time, even if your child just uses 1. So they kind of get ragged together. I do recommend frequent washes so that it still smells nice and it doesn't get so gritty, but it's up to you however you want to incorporate the lovey. My son has one, and I unfortunately did not follow that practice. I didn't wash them all together until later on, so he can always tell which one the OG is. So he has 4 and knows exactly which one's what, so I won't make that mistake this time. Well, thanks for tuning in today for Sleep Questions in My DMs. If you have any sleep questions that you'd like answered, please leave them in the comments or send me a DM on both Instagram or Facebook. And be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any videos.